What is up, everyone? It's Deltlead, and welcome back to Simple Rockets 2. Today, we're going to be sending a probe all the way out to Handrews Comet. That's the goal, is to get something out to Handrews Comet. Now, Handrews Comet is a very difficult planet to visit. It's a comet. It's not even a planet. It's a comet. It's a very small comet. It is on a elliptical, highly eccentric orbit. It's a weird orbit to get to. It's got a weird inclination. It's not easy. It's not easy to get to. But we're going to try and get to it, and so what I'm going to be doing today is building a probe that we will launch with our Heavy Launch 2 Idaho rocket. This is the C variant of the rocket, which I have not released yet on the Simple Rockets store. Simple Rockets webpage, not the store. It's not a store, you're not buying it. You just download it for free. The C variant has a couple cosmetic upgrades, but it also has the most up-to-date auto-launch program loaded onto it, which is a very capable auto-launch program. It's very accurate. So that'll be going up onto the Simple Rockets website at some point in the near future. Haven't posted it yet, but that's the rocket we're going to be using. Right now, I'm going to build the probe. We're just going to do a time-lapse of the build, because it's probably going to take 30 minutes to an hour maybe to do. So we'll time-lapse through the build, and then we'll launch the mission. What I'm trying to do with this probe, the goal is get a intercept with Handrews Comet and at least do a flyby. Don't really need to get a capture. We could try for a capture. I'm not that's not the goal. That's just like a bonus objective. The real objective is to fly by Handrews Comet. So we're gonna build that probe, and then we're gonna go ahead and try the mission out. So let's do this. Let's see what we've got. All right, so we have built the probe. We've got it sitting on our rocket here. Let's actually reveal it. Let's just make all these fairings invisible for a second. There it is. So it's pretty small, so I shrank the fairing down from the standard heavy cargo fairing to a much smaller one. I also made sure that I was running the most up-to-date version of the auto launch program. This version actually will automatically stage the side boosters as well. I was able to finally add that feature. So I think we are ready to go. We've got our payload, we've got our rocket. Let's just double check. And of course, as always, we've got one engine there. Needs to go there. Is everything else correct though? Okay. Yep. Everything else is staged correctly. Everything else looks good to go. So we are ready to launch this rocket. Let's take it up to the launch pad. All right, so we are on the launch pad. We have our rocket here and ready to go. So one thing I was looking at, and I want to make sure I've got this correct, is the transfer window, the encounter, basically the degrees that Drew needs to be from Handrews Comet to get the encounter. And I wasn't able to find it. The couple resources that I usually use for that don't have it, and I think that's just because it's such a weird orbit. It's hard to make that judgment. Like, I've got all the transfer windows for the inner planets, even the outer planets are easy enough, but yeah, Handrews Comet just seems a little funky. So we're gonna have to wing it and just hope for the best. If I can put myself in an orbit, basically I'm gonna try to get my orbit to touch here, and then adjust my orbit at this point to encounter Handrews Comet at some point. So I'm actually going to time warp a little bit here. And what we're doing is we're waiting for the spot. Basically right... Yeah, right about there is where we'll launch. And what we're doing is, by launching at this point, it'll allow us to, when we do our escape burn, we can immediately raise our apoapsis to be right at the periapsis of Handrews Comet, and then we can warp around to here and then adjust our apoapsis as needed. I said earlier in the video that Handrews Comet has a weird inclination. It doesn't, actually. It has a 1.15 degree inclination, so that's actually pretty reasonable. Won't be too hard to make just a little vertical adjustment to get that encounter. I think we are ready to go. So this program will automatically launch, and oh, we've got a perfect time for the launch too. Let's time warp just a little bit more forward. Get that sunrise. All right. This thing is fully automated, so I'm gonna hit the 1 button, and it will launch. Let's go. Okay, it looks like we've encountered a bug in the code because we just... It's kind of frustrating. It's forcing my throttle, which is annoying. I'm going to just deactivate these engines manually. Okay. We're in orbit. That's fine. We didn't waste too much, and honestly, we were just about done with that stage anyway. Let's just warp around, see if it'll disengage. No? Here's what we'll do. It's just trying to raise its orbit. We're gonna basically let the program fix itself. This is kind of annoying. Unfortunate that I wasn't able to fix that bug. There we go. Okay, so the program fixed itself. Now that we're at 100 kilometers right there, it turned off finally. Alright, so we are in orbit. We're at our desired orbit, plus a little bit extra because of that failure to stop there, but it's not going to hurt us too bad. It's actually... Mostly that delta V is in the right direction, and it wasn't that much anyway, so I'm not worried about it. So what we're going to do is I want to plan an escape burn so that my trajectory is exactly in line. My escape trajectory is exactly parallel to Drew's orbit around Juno. So what we're going to do, it's probably going to be right about where our periapsis is probably the ideal point. So that actually kind of worked out in our favor. We probably could have just kept rolling, and we would have been fine. So there we go. You see how our orbit is pretty much parallel with Drew's, and so yeah, so basically our orbit... Actually, we're burning the wrong way, though. Whoops, I'm being silly. So I burned here. We're actually probably going to want to burn at apoapsis. Again, not a huge deal. A little less efficient than the alternative, but not a huge deal. We're going to do the exact same thing here. There it is. right there. Okay, bring that up so that we are just touching Handrews Comet at its periapsis, basically. Yeah, basically touching its periapsis. How much delta V? We have 1,200 meters per second left in this stage, and it's a 1,400 meter per second delta V. That's actually fine though, because this is the second of 3 stages, so we're good to go. I'm gonna lock this burn in. Time warp around to it. We're on the night side of the planet. We'll watch these engines light up one more time, just like that. Okay. And we'll time warp through this burn, fast forward through it a bit. It'll take just a second to get through this. That's fine. We're anticipating it taking a second. Exactly 1 minute left in the burn at this point. How are we doing? And okay, that is our second stage expired. Third stage ignition. And there we go. Okay, so we are on a trajectory out of the Drew system and into orbit around Juno as desired. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is time warp to basically to the edge of Drew's sphere of influence. Yep. And then let's just raise our periapsis ever so slightly. There we go. Okay, so we're touching it. Now, here is the trick. Click on Juno, so our camera is centered on the system, and I'm going to time warp around a little bit. So here we see Handrews Comet coming down. So what I'm going to do at this point, what I'm going to do... Oh, actually, shoot, we messed that up. It's too late, because this next orbit puts it behind us. Okay, so we're going to try that again. Couple more orbits. Okay, this next one. Now we're going to burn here at our periapsis. Or not at our periapsis. At Handrews Comet's periapsis, we're going to make a burn here. Stretch our orbit out. Well, that was the goal right there. So we see it's closing in, but then it stops closing in for some reason. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I think I know what to do. Okay. So our next orbit, that'll be our closest point of approach right there. Let's do our burn at our own apoapsis this time. There we go. Get coming in here. Ooh, that's close. Ooh, that's getting close. All right. Oh, that's okay. That's the window we're looking for. Now we just need to fine tune this orbit. How much delta V do I have? 3,000 meters per second of delta V. We might actually be able to get a capture here. That's a lot more than we probably will need. Maybe. We're a good bit off. Oh, but we can get that real stinking close, can't we? Yeah, we can. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna turn my sensitivity down. We're doing some precision orbit adjustments right here, trying to get these two to line up. Tricky. It's doable. I'm gonna tinker around with this for a little bit and kind of fast forward through this so you don't have to see it. It'll probably take me like at least 10 minutes maybe to plan this out. So yeah, we'll fast forward through this and then you can talk to me after we have tinkered with the burn gizmo enough. Okay, we're actually going to do this in 2 parts. I just realized we probably can't actually get an efficient transfer burn or efficient correction burn here for this. Just the way we're positioned right here, we're trying to basically get an encounter behind us, behind where we're burning in our orbit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this initial one, and then I'm going to make a second one out here that'll get us the rest of the way there, and it should be more efficient for our delta V. We're still only using 850 meters per second of delta V for this maneuver, which is really good. Did not need nearly as much delta V for it, which is ideal, because we might actually be able to get a capture burn here. Okay, so that is our first burn. I'm going to make another maneuver out here. And this one, hopefully, the plan is that this next burn will get us the rest of the way to our encounter and then potential capture. So, I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did, and time warp through this, or fast forward through this, and you guys will see the finished product where we ideally have a successful encounter with Handrews Comet. Oh, actually that did not take nearly as long as I thought it did. No need for time warp. It's only 16 meters per second, and we've got it right there. We have our encounter with Handrews Comet. We're flying by it just there. I'm going to lock it, and then let's warp to it. Okay. Successful time warp, no issue there. And I'm just going to slow down time to really make sure. Okay, we've got our encounter. That's it. We've got our encounter with Handrews Comet. Now it's coming down real quick, and we're going to go ahead and snap over to it, just like that. Here it comes. What? What? What the hell? Are we in its sphere of influence? No. Where did our encounter go? We had an encounter. Maybe we haven't hit it yet. Hold on. It looks like we might still hit it. The game's saying we don't have an encounter anymore, which is sad. We could. Hear me out. This isn't the proper way to do it. We could point at Handrews Comet and burn. Make a quick save real quick. We have, how much delta V? 2,230 meters per second of delta V, plus what we have in our upper state. We could just force it. Let's try this. I'm going to do this little maneuver right here. See what we're doing? We're cheating. That is one way. That actually, hold on, that didn't take nearly as much delta V as I thought it was. That was only a 400 meters per second burn, and we basically forced an encounter there. 623 kilometer orbit. Can I push that down? Maybe. No, maybe not. You know what? Let's just roll with it, and then I'll adjust it from there. So I'm gonna slowly roll time forward here, because I don't want this to break or do something funky. Okay, so we're entering its sphere of influence now relative to Handrews Comet, which is only 4,000 kilometers away. We can see it there. I'm going to burn radial inward. There we go. Radial in. Let's burn retrograde now. And I'm going to burn retrograde and radial out. Or maybe just retrograde for now. So what I'm trying to do, and we're out of fuel on that stage, which is fine. What I'm trying to do is decelerate our craft relative to Handrews Comet. We've separated. Taking control of the probe. We'll lock retrograde. Turn RCS on. This on, solar panels on. There we go. Okay. Hold on. No, we're fine. We've got control authority. Throttle up. How much delta V do we have? 1600 meters per second of delta V. That's fine. Let's burn radial in again. We have too much control authority here, basically. Trying to get this to even out. Really doesn't want to. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to bring our periapsis in. I probably should have brought my periapsis in more with the other stage, but that's fine. Still got plenty of delta V here. I'm doing this all at 8 times acceleration because this thing has a very low mass flow rate. It's a very efficient engine, very easy to throttle, easy to make, you know, little adjustments to our orbit, but it does not burn fast at all. It doesn't burn fast at all. We're approaching Handrews Comet now, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and kill it, kill the throttles, and we're just going to let the flyby happen. I'm going to point at target, basically, and let's just look at our cameras. Open up slider 1 here. There we go. Look at that. There it is. Handrews Comet. I'm going to untarget it so I don't have to see that cursor. Look at that. Now I can, if I'm using the right camera. There we go. Zoom in on it as we fly by. Alright, and with that, we have drifted on past Handrews Comet. And I gotta say, it's a cool little comet. We're not very far away from it, right? We're only 300 kilometers away. Could have gotten closer, but it's okay. We got close enough to get some pretty cool images of it. Our little rocket here is... Where is our orbit now? We could actually throttle up again. I'm gonna burn retrograde some more. I think we're done taking pictures of it. I'm going to keep burning retrograde because there's a chance that we can potentially get future encounters with it as long as we've got our orbit adjusted properly. So, you know, it's in our cards to get multiple passes by. We could maybe get another encounter in a future mission if we wanted to. But overall, I would say this is a roaring success. Our little satellite, our little probe here has managed to collect some beautiful images, some beautiful data, some wonderful scientific readings on Handrews Comet in just this one flyby, and overall I would say mission success. We have absolutely accomplished what we set out to do. It was not as hard as I thought it would be, and we actually probably could land on this pretty easily. We would just need a bigger rocket. We totally could have done it though. The mission would have worked just fine. Maybe in the next video I'll try and land on Handrews Comet. It's certainly an interesting one to get to. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and like the video. Leave a comment below on what you'd like to see me do next time. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Your support is what makes it possible for me to make these videos. It's what makes it worth it for me. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, someone who isn't subscribed will die, guaranteed. You hitting that subscribe button will kill another person, just like in Squid Game. So, if you don't want to get got, I would go ahead and hit that subscribe button before someone else does before you. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care and keep on building.